Okay, so all you need to do today is grade this assignment and then report the grade and then attend the mandatory Zoom session. So when you compare your problem number 1 to mine, we won't have picked, we may have coincidentally picked some of the same inputs, but it's unlikely. Oh, this is really bright. I want it bright, but not that bright. That might actually be better. Okay. So just look to make sure your line should pass through the origin, unless you weren't being careful with drawing with a straight edge. But I mean, it should pass through the origin and be pretty steep uphill slope like this. If it looks like that, count it correct. If you're not sure but you think it looks like that, count it correct. If you're not sure but you think it doesn't look like that, count it wrong. Just use your best judgment. Number 2, the line should be sloping downward like this. It does not pass through the origin. It crosses right around here, and here. It goes through quadrant 3 a little bit, but mostly it's in quadrants 2 and 4. Number 3 has an uphill slope like this, going through quadrants 1 and 2, like this. Of course, it's going to pass through quadrant 3 eventually here. 4 has a pretty steep downhill slope. It goes through quadrant 1 a bit, but mostly it passes through quadrant 2 and then extends into quadrant 4. Number 5 has an uphill slope, crossing from quadrant 3 and then into 4 and then finally into 1. 6, I can't decide about this light. That's probably better. 6 was on the video, but it's got a downhill slope going through quadrants 2, 1, and 4 like this. Crosses through a bit of quadrant 1, but not much of quadrant 1. The answer to this question was I had you plot 3 points because if you only plotted 2 points, you're always going to get a line through any 2 points. But to make sure that you have the correct line, the third point makes sure you have the correct line. Because if you made a mistake, you would have 3 non-collinear points. In other words, if I plotted 2 points like this and then just drew a line, I'm always going to get a line through those 2 points. But if my third point is something like this, if I drew it better, then I feel like I've got the right line. But if my third point is out here, then I know I don't have, something's wrong. One of these points is wrong. So it's a way to check your work. Any answer that you think is close to that, count it. The number 8, the y-intercept is 0, -2. The x-intercept is 2/3, 0. Number 9, the y-intercept is 0, 2. The x-intercept is 1, 0. And I'll just remind you that when the linear equation is written in slope-intercept form, where the y is isolated on one side of the equation, like it is in all of these, then the constant term tells you your y-intercept. If you're subtracting 2, that's the same as adding -2. So -2 is the y-coordinate for the y-intercept. For the x-coordinate, you had to rewrite the equation and substitute 0 for y. I showed you a couple examples of that on the video. Number 10, the y-intercept is 0, -1. The x-intercept is 1/2, 0. 11 was on the video. The y-intercept is 0, -7. The x-intercept is -7, 0. Number 12, I think, was also on the video. Did I really do 3 on the video? Maybe I did. Number 12, the y-intercept is 0, 6, 0, 6. The x-intercept is 8, 0. 13, the y-intercept is 0, 5. The x-intercept is -5/2, 0. 14, the y-intercept is 0, -2. The x-intercept is 1/4, 0. For number 15, both the x and y intercepts are 0. 0, 0 is if the line passes through to the origin, then the x and the y-intercept are both the same point. Number 16, the y-intercept is 0, 5. The x-intercept is negative 5, 0. Number 17, the y-intercept is 0, 4. The x-intercept is negative 6, 0. So on these, if you got one but not the other, consider that minus 1/2. Just remember to report the grade to me on email or discussion board. And if we haven't had the Zoom yet, I look forward to seeing you in the Zoom. I also have the optional afternoon Zoom if you want to Zoom in, and if there's something on this you'd like me to go over or anything else you'd like me to go over, I'd be happy to do that at that time. Alright, thanks for watching the video.